Now comes the truly amazing part. We're going to take our we're going to take our walls and we're going to automatically create a floor from them. And this is accomplished by clicking on the multi-poly button here and then selecting all of our walls. Note, Campaign Cartographer has detected that there are 4 entities here, or 4 lines. This line here is our curved line, then the line that we drew here, which we then cut, is another line. The strange curved line here is our 3rd line, and then finally this line here. So we actually do have 4 discrete entities, 4 lines that make up this. Once we've selected all the lines that we want to combine with the multi-poly tool, we right-click, do it, and bingo, we have our floor made. Now we still have a little bit of work to do. First of all, these floors are the wrong texture. They're the same texture, the same fill that we've used for the walls, a pink stone. While that does make a good floor fill, it's not what we want in this case. The other problem that we've got is that all of this floor is actually on the walls layer and on the walls sheet. And because it's on the walls sheet, if we activate the sheets, you'll see what will happen. It actually has a drop shadow and a glow around the outside and a bevel. In other words, Dungeon Designer, Campaign Cartographer thinks that this is a huge, thick, blocky wall. That's not what we want. I'm going to turn our sheets off for a moment. This can be very, very quickly changed by using this function over here, the Change Properties function. The wonderful thing about the Change Properties function is we can correct all of the problems of this floor, such as it being on the wrong layer and on the wrong sheet and having the wrong fill, in one hit. Let's click on it, and then we select the floor that we want. And as you can see, rather than being 4 separate entities, it's one entity. That's because our walls have combined, literally combined, to become one multi-poly, one complex shape. Once we've got it selected, we right-click and we say do it. And with the Change Properties functions, we can select to place it on the Floors 1 background layer, on the Floors sheet, and we'll even change the fill style to be a walnut wooden floor. Unusual floor, true, but it's an unusual room. And clicking on OK will change all of those things for us. Let's just prove that this is now acted as a floor. As you can see, we don't have the shadowing, but we do have that slight green hue on the inside. Okay, all we have to do now is move this floor into the right spot where the walls are. And because we've got our grid snaps on, this should be fairly easy. We'll just choose this corner and drag it over. So let's start with that. We'll use the Move tool over here just by right-clicking on it, and we'll select. Hang on, for some reason I can't select this shape. Look, no matter what I do, it won't select. Why is that? Let's think about it for a moment. If you remember earlier on, we had selected layers and sheets as being walls. Now if we click on the Layers function, you'll remember that we actually froze all of the layers except for the walls. Well, that's fine when we were creating walls, but as soon as we change this object down to a Floors layer down here, it became frozen. It's visible, but it's frozen, which means that we can't edit it. So we need to click on this to unfreeze it. Now, when again we try to do a move, we click on it, you can see the entity can be selected. Right-click, do it, choose the point of origin. I'll zoom in on that corner, and I'll match it to that corner right there, and our snap should do the rest. By first impressions, it looks like the walls have actually been covered slightly by the floors, but don't worry about that. Because the sheets have been set up in such a way that the walls will always appear over floors, when we redraw, you can see that the walls come into the right spot. Let's now zoom into our room and check what it looks like. So far so good. We'll turn on our active sheets. Wow, absolutely spectacular. Now we need some way of connecting all of this lovely, strange room that we've got with the rest of the drawing. So let's zoom out We could either draw a corridor from somewhere, or we could push the walls up against the rest of the building. I'm going to opt for a bit of both. I'm going to push the room closer, so I'm going to select the Move tool. I'm going to select all of my elements. Now, in this case, we've selected both walls and floor. And as you can see, we've got 5 entities selected. So that's 4 pieces of wall and 1 floor. Right-click to do it. And I'm going to want to try and move this point of origin, and we're going to move it to there. If we redraw and then zoom in, we'll see that we've now got the walls connecting quite nicely there. I'm also then going to draw a corridor. To draw the corridor between the hidden room and this area is very simple. I'm just going to right-click. I'm going to use, let's try a light brown dirt floor. From here to here, here to here, and bingo. And of course, we're going to need some walls. And I'm going to use the cobble wall again, from here to here, and from here to here. Let's put some doors into it. And we'll have a closed door here, and an open, just an open area, oops, here. Actually, we'll just undo that. We might make it an open door. I'm going to turn my snaps off for a moment so I can get the door lined up exactly where I want it. There we go. Look at that. Fantastic room, all neatly aligned with a corridor. What more could you want? Well, how about a flood?